decent home form going on, and what a win against Villa, because obviously when look at a fixture that involves Villa, because Villa are now one of the teams that are vying for the top four places, right? And so are you. So you obviously expect a difficult game, a tight game, and it actually seemed so until the first half. Considering how both teams were trying to go for it, and I guess wasteful in front of goal as well in the first half. Both teams had their chances here and there, but yeah, it looked like a real tight game as you would expect looking at the fixture. But boy, they scored the first goal, and you would think it is one of those days where Spurs at least will end up dropping a point. But your home fans, call it because of the fans or your run of form, you've been able to make the right substitutions, and Ange in his not even 1.5 season, less than 1.5 season, has started a culture at Spurs of coming back from setbacks. So what do you my focus is on the home form. What do you think of what do you think is working?
Yeah, see, in general, if there are away games and you are one goal down, then it scares me. But for in the home matches, yes, and when in these home matches we get an early goal. If the other team hit the goal in like first half, first 20-25 minutes, then you have good enough time to come back, right?
Hmm.
That was a different case on in against Arsenal. No, they scored in the second half. So it was a less time for the comeback. But in general, I don't. I feel pretty relaxed in the home matches because I believe they will come back. Substitutions will happen. The crowd will make it work, and team looks much more stable, right?
Hmm.
Because in away we know the environment is not friendly, so it's really tough. But and the other positive thing was one thing it was in home, the other thing was Werner was not playing, so you would think that at least those sitters nobody will miss. There will be goals from the left hand side, and we have seen like Son has assisted a beautiful goal for the equalizer. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I
it was a
guess
really good
one
night.
big positive out of this game was Son coming back from injury, and he was pulled off early while he was just getting into his stride, and what a brilliant cross with his weaker foot,
Beautiful.
and that was a brilliant goal to equalize in the second half. So I mean, um, do you back Ange's decision with the Son substitution?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. He's this whenever Werner plays, I understand the importance of Son more and more. So saving Son is really important because last time we tried the same thing. We tried to accelerate Son's returning of Son, and what happened was he again got an injury at 65 minutes, and he has to go off. So it was a managed one that slowly we want to introduce him. There is also international break coming up, so he will probably play in one more game, start in one more game. So that should be good enough time for his recovery as well, so that he can play full 90 minutes. But yeah, he's most critical resource right now.
Hmm. Okay, I guess I probably that's the only guy and sees as a starter material, and even he's not safe either. And I wanted to come back to Ange's style of management a little bit, because we've had quite a big, good enough sample space just to understand how he is as a manager. And with Spurs, what I like about them is I don't see any player being bigger than the team, if I have to put it like that. And
Absolutely.
and a manager actually living it. A manager actually living it. You can, because these terms sound cliche on the time, because most managers say that no one is bigger than the team, but then they end up playing the you know playing a player that is not going through a good vein of form. But Ange actually lives by that logic, and it is the most difficult job as a manager to live by that logic, because you have to pull apart let me call it a marquee player, because I would like to take the name of Madison in this particular case. He is actually a marquee signing. He's a number 10 player. Who know, he is being seen as a creative midfielder in your team, right? And there are times he doesn't start. There are times Ange pulls him apart in the second half itself. And from the games that I've seen of Spurs, it actually reaps benefits. And immediately the player comes off all frustrated. But then when he sees that my manager was right, so this also exudes confidence on the player that is coming off. कि भाई मैनेजर कुछ सोच रहा है यार उसका रिजल्ट भी मिल रहा है. So are you
I
enjoying it that no one is
Yeah,
bigger than the
absolutely,
team?
absolutely. Simple logic is ki whatever aggression you have of and pulling you out in 60 minutes or so, you show it in the next match. You prove him that no, I can make the difference. I can do. If you're not playing good enough, that is what the merit means, right? So your whole team should play on merit. It should not be like if somebody is a 19-year-old, how no matter how good he does, he will not get a chance because seats are booked. All 11 places are booked by some 11 starters, which nobody can replace. So they should not be untouchable. And right now, on merit, Kulusevski plays as a better creative midfielder than Madison. So Madison will sit. And Madison will have his chances to prove, right? He had 10 minutes of today, and probably in the midweek he will play. He will start because he is well rested. So he will get enough chances to prove that no, I should be starting over Kulusevski. That healthy competition will always benefit for the entire team.
Yeah.
That
Definitely. I mean, don't you think, Amit, sometimes that these are the simple stuffs for a manager? These are, I mean, when we hear it and we are immediately like, oh, wow, wonderful management because you
Hmm.
keep the sanity of the squad. You keep all the players in the squad involved कि भाई मैं मेहनत करूंगा ट्रेनिंग में मेरे को चांस मिलना ही मिलना है. It's not like कि मेरा my manager doesn't promote favoritism. If players can actually get a message indirectly or directly through the manager, मेहनत तो करेंगे ही ना.
Hmm.
So I
But
guess.
again, this is all situation. I'll just add one more thing. Let's say he
Okay.
takes out Son and we loses this match 3-1.
Hmm.
Right. The whole perspective with which we are talking in this conversation might change completely. That why he did that. He was looking in control. He actually assisted for the equalizer, and then you pull off your best player out of the
Immediately
field
that too, not
immediately.
later.
Maybe for there will be a argument of that he wants to save the injury and whatnot, but not at the cost of a match, right?
Correct.
Every match matters in Premier League, and when you're fighting
Fair
for
point.
top
Yes.
four, and there are too many teams right now, and even Nottingham Forest is competing. So
Competing
there is no
already there.
space. They're there only. There is no space of complacency there. So
Hmm.
the whole perspective would change. So well, with जैसे बोलते हैं ना, with great power comes great responsibility. So with the power of pulling off people comes the responsibility of winning the match. So in this match we did win.
Very well
So
said. I mean, very well
it's
summed up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I guess we have to wait for Ange losing to actually look at a different perspective as to how he manages a squad. So yeah,
I
we
hope he
don't have
does
any
not lose.
ideas on how he
But a
manages
good run, man. Good run going on. 11 matches, में 9 we have won. So
this.
in all competition, it's
Yeah, the
going on
Crystal Palace
good.
game was an aberration, and why I call it an aberration because when you're rebuilding, 1-0, 2-1 losses happens because you're trying to implement something. Okay, fine. Because
I
कैसा है, and these kind of losses ना, while rebuilding, a bigger team actually faces against a lesser opposition that is trying to survive.
Absolutely.
ऐसा ही
भाई
होता है.
वुल्फ्स ने कितना परेशान किया भाई अर्ली पार
Exactly,
वो
exactly.
उनो की
So
वुल्फ्स भाई देवर लाइक क्या
simply
ही
put,
Yeah, and
बोले.
this
it
is
was
the
a
Premier
London
League.
derby.
This is the
हाँ
Yeah,
Premier
and
League.
it was a London derby. So anything can happen in London derby. वो तो
हाँ,
Spurs fans को पता ही होगा.
वो भी है.
भाई दैट मैच वाज डिफरेंट आई मैं हारे बट रिस्पेक्ट थी क्रिस्टल पैलेस के लिए बहुत ज्यादा द वे दे प्लेड दैट मैच आई रियली
So
अप्रिशिएट देम
yeah, so I mean, no team is actually ever out. मतलब, I mean, in the
नो
Premier
गेम इज अ
League,
इजी गेम सो
yeah, there are no easy games. I
देयर
mean,
आर नो इजी गेम
you would think a team is actually leaking goals. They won't play. They will start to play football against you. I mean, you cannot. You might end up winning against them, but it's not like they will put their swords down. So yeah, I mean, there's that. And about two things I wanted to talk about: set pieces and your injury situation. Just sum it up, man. I mean, what's going on? Set pieces, it's still a problem. And just, I mean, look, if this goes on, it's my personal opinion that you are going to change the goalkeeper, because when goalkeeper single-handedly starts to cost you points, it's that kind of a position in the game that if he starts to directly affect games where you're dropping points, then 100% Ange is going to have to change. You have to going to buy a different keeper. That is first thing. Second thing is both your center backs are injured. Van de Beek was out. Now Romero also looks injured. What about it?
Bhai, good thing. I'll start from the injury thing. That good thing is that Van de Ven ka hamstring is not a very serious one, and he should be back like after international break. तो 2 मैच
Oh,
बचे
okay.
हैं बस वो निकालने हैं.
Then फिर तो
Romero का तो there is no update. Maybe I'm not sure how serious that injury is right now. But at least one of them comes and Ragushin can fill. Ragushin and Davis ka we cannot run on a long basis. That would be really difficult. Both does not have a lot of pace on them, so it would be a little tricky.
do you think Ange is going to ask them to play a high line? That is where maturity will come in. That is where I want to see.
Good question. But ठीक है देखते हैं भाई देखो in this week we have seen multiple colors of Ange. ठीक है, I have seen a
Yeah, I have
proper
been
pragmatic
impressed
Ange
by
in a
a couple
match.
of games.
A pragmatic approach against Manchester City. भाई I was like surprised कि भाई क्या देख रहा हूँ. I'm looking at it first time, but he showed कि भाई these cup games are those dogged games कि भाई उसको निकालो कैसे भी.
निकालना है.
उसमें तुम्हें स्टाइल वगैरह प्रीमियर लीग एक लंबी रन है. यू कैन प्रोग्रेस 1 by 1 मैच के बेसिस पे. यहाँ पे यू आर आउट तो यू आर आउट. यू कैन गेट आउट ऑन द फर्स्ट मैच और यू कैन विन द कप. United has proved it last season कि how shit they were in the league, they still managed to get a cup. तो वो cup games are completely different beast.
Different, yeah.
तो उसको different तरीके से टैकल करना, that was really good. तो हाँ, I was talking about कि yes, the evolution of Ange we are seeing. First season was completely about setting up his ideology, and now this season is about winning. So now everything you focus on should be on winning because the principles, the ideologies are now set. Now you can go ahead the next step and tweak a little based on match per match basis, situation per situation basis. So that is what I am looking forward to, that how Ange will do.
Yeah.
Because again, you cannot just have a template and go on Premier League. It will not
Correct.
help you.
I mean,
Because
you'll be called a one-trick pony, right?
every team will crack you right open. So you cannot do anything.
So,
And
yeah.
about the set
the
piece
set piece
thing,
problem.
so the problem is there. Cannot deny it. But again, मतलब, the only thing is कि normally when you see a team with a bad set piece, you're losing every duel. You're losing like every corner. The other person is getting head to it. But I'm not seeing that. But the point is कि एक दो अच्छे corner आ जाते हैं and we look clueless about that. राइट. मतलब इन्होंने भी एक अच्छा कॉर्नर डाला एंड अवर गोलकीपर इज टू मच बिहाइंड. मतलब उसको प्रोएक्टिव एंड व्हेन ही ट्राइज टू बी प्रोएक्टिव समटाइम्स ही मिसेस द बॉल कंप्लीटली. मतलब मोर ऑफन देन नॉट. सो ही इज नॉट दैट काइंड ऑफ कीपर एज वेल हु कैन कम फॉर क्रॉसेस. सो वी हैव टू फाइंड अ सॉल्यूशन. ईदर यू पुट people defending Vicario, you have to make a strategy. Maybe changing goalkeeper might be a solution, but
I guess he has to be stronger. He needs to bulk up or something.
yes,
Yeah.
that is true. He's too and things have changed for goalkeeper, I believe, in like last couple of seasons. Like it's not a very protected species anymore. You're not getting easy fouls on goalkeeper. Referees have
Yeah,
become a
because
little
I mean, it's easier for a keeper because with the likes of Arsenal and also teams evolving their corner or set piece strategy, I mean, हर बार foul मिल जाएगा ना. तो obviously the rules have to get changed a little bit where there is a higher threshold कि भाई
correct.
अगर तुम उसको धक्का वक्का दे के वैसा कर दिए while he is about to grab the ball, only then it will be called intrusion. So yeah, I guess it's a higher threshold this season. That is for sure. but
बट ठीक है, अगर वन ऑफ गोल्स आ रहे हैं कुछ मैचेस में, आई डोंट माइंड दैट मच क्योंकि आई हैव नॉट सीन लाइक कि एवरी कॉर्नर में आई एम फीलिंग स्ट्रेस्ड
you
कि
will
भाई क्या
mind
हुआ है.
against the big team. or even
against big team.
on
Yeah.
a
When
team
that is
like
a
Palace,
decider, like against Arsenal, right? The same simple example is ki that
Arsenal,
was a
you lost it.
match where a match of not too many good chances. So whoever grabs these few
In
set
fact, you
pieces,
played well.
goals or something,
You
yes.
played well that game.
So that costed us. So if
Yeah.
that starts costing us on regular basis against good teams, then something needs to be changed, which is still but we have to find a solution. If you cannot find solution, goalkeeper is the problem, then change it. It's not like set on stone that Vicario has to be it. He has good
Right.
quality. I'm not saying Vicario is not a good goalkeeper. One-on-one situations, all those things is very good. But on the set piece specifically, he is a little less in height as well. He is a little less bulky as well. So he's
Hmm.
not that commanding in the
Box.
in
Yeah.
his team in the box. So
Yep.
yeah, that is the thing. I think hopefully he'll solve this problem as well. Baki